Today's discussion will be about how leadership and talent theory is applied in practice, reviewing leadership styles and behaviour of Wetherspoons and its approach to learning and development. Setting the scene, let's take a look at the current problems in organisations. According to CMI's 2020 report, employees don't have faith in their managers, believing that they don't set a good moral example and they do not receive the training they need to succeed. With a company such as Wetherspoons, its structure has many levels. The values of the company are good, but in each separate business, it could be seen that managers have different ethics and values to the organisation. To be a great leader, it is essential to have different leadership styles. Cameron and Green talk about situational leadership and the 4 different styles: directing, coaching, supporting, and delegating. All 4 of these styles should be used depending on the employee's needs. The directive style will be used when the employee doesn't have the skills and experience to do the task, and you may need to tell them how to do it. In coaching, some direction is still required, but the employee has competence and confidence, but will still require support by involving them and listening. In a supporting role, the employee can complete the task but will need some support. With delegating, little or no direction or support is required as they are competent and confident. In this framework, managers can make a judgment on which style is most effective. Also, the ability to fully understand the strengths of your team and how to motivate them. In my role as a pub manager, my line manager will delegate tasks to me. No need for support as I am experienced and confident in my role. New starters will need a directive and coaching approach to get the task done. My team of managers will need support from me as they can complete the task, but may need encouragement and discussion on ideas on how best to complete the task. This is where I'll listen and I'll encourage them to go with their ideas. A setback working for Wetherspoons is that we are restricted on how things can be done, as we are expected to do things how they would like things done and keep costs low. Siemens' definition of a leader is someone who can influence others in a shared direction, someone who can encourage and motivate others to perform and lead by example. A manager is seen as someone who dictates. McGregor's XY theory on different management styles shows that X theory is that people don't want to take responsibility or achieve in the workplace. Within Wetherspoons, this could be seen as this is how you pour a pint, this is how you serve a customer, which could be seen as robotic. Generally, these members of staff are coming to work for wages and not for a career and with no ambition. Y theory uses different techniques to make these people want to work for you, to help the business achieve its targets, and to take some responsibility for that. These assumptions are that the average person does like work under the right conditions. Creating a cooperative relationship between workers and managers can give employees satisfaction in their work. Creating a cooperative relationship between workers and managers can give employees satisfaction in their work. I'd like to think that within my business that staff are happy to come into work, that their values, their opinions matter. Imagine going to work every day and where these needs aren't met. You would be unhappy and you wouldn't want to work. Setting achievable goals that aren't too easy or too hard. Locke and Latham theory uses SMART goals, which have discipline and structure for the desired outcome. S, specific and clear goals. M, measurable. Define what evidence you will use to prove that you are making progress. A, for achievable goals that are challenging and not too easy. Realistic and relevant goals that align with your company's mission and KPIs. And then timescale, a date to work towards and to achieve the goal by. Wetherspoons have numerous KPIs that we are measured against, main focus on sales and profit. While the higher management set these targets within each business, we would use SMART goals to ensure we hit the desired targets. We are taught about these in Management Training Academy and implement them back into the business. I find it helps me delegate objectives with a clear goal and end date. One of the theories I find interesting and relatable is the Peter Principle. Peter and Hull came up with the theory that in hierarchical structures, people are promoted to a level beyond their competence and become incompetent. Within my organisation, we tend to push people into roles that they are not ready for. For example, a member of the management team were to leave, we would need to replace them to maintain the business and by always having a responsible person on site. The next person may not have all the qualities to fill that role, but they are classed as the next in line to get the promotion. This can lead to them not doing their job well and then becoming incompetent in that role. Regarding training the management team, they must complete the management academy, which is online, and some training within the business. Once they have completed the training, they can be signed off and progress to be a pub manager and run their own business. In my opinion, completing the training does not make them competent to progress further. They need to be able to apply everything they have learned. In my opinion, this will lead to incompetent pub managers. Motivating your workers. What does motivate your staff? What do you need for a motivated team? Hertzberg's two-factor theory is focused on the attitudes of workers and job satisfaction. He explains that people are motivated by two things: motivators and hygiene factors. Motivator factors help keep workers content in the job, promote growth, and encourage job satisfaction. Hygiene factors prevent job dissatisfaction. Hygiene factors must be present in the workplace to stop dissatisfaction. These factors don't contribute to satisfaction. Surprisingly, pay is not a motivator, nor is job security. It could be argued that these motivators, especially in jobs where you are at the top of your game and with big bonuses. Within my organisation, I would say pay is a motivator, especially at my level where I can receive up to 50% of my salary in bonus. In conclusion, there are so many factors to consider when running a successful business, and that doesn't always mean how much money you will make. It could be the work environment you create. Workers want to work for companies and managers with good ethics and morals. Workers look to have a great leader to follow, someone who can encourage and motivate them. There are many different styles when it comes to leadership. I discussed situational leaderships and its 4 different styles. This framework makes it clear that there isn't just one way to lead, and it depends on what stage a person is in their career and training. You will need to use all 4 of these for different projects, different people, and different roles. You will also need to use different techniques to make people want to work for you. McGregor's XY theory discusses that with the right conditions, workers will want to work for job satisfaction. Good working relationships help in this area. No one wants to work for a dictator who doesn't listen or is dismissive of ideas. Briefly discuss training. Many workers believe they don't receive the training they believe they need. Everyone's training needs are different, and in big companies you have to go for the consensus and monetary factor. Within my organisation, e-learning is huge, and it's understandable why companies use it. It's quick, it's sent by one click of the button. Unfortunately, sometimes the message gets missed, or it's just a click box exercise for some workers. Giving the workers the right tools and the right training is important. Tools such as the Lock and Latham SMART objectives give structure and discipline to help achieve goals. Giving your team frameworks like this to help them succeed. Training, while it is important, doesn't always create good leaders. The Peter Principle outlines a problem within structured organisations where workers are promoted because it's the next step and then they are incompetent in that job role. For example, not all bar associates will make good bar managers, and the example of the engineers who have a physical job then get promoted into a manager job, and then they're incompetent in that role because they're more inclined to do a physical job, and then they fail. Final part that I find interesting is the 2-factor theory by Hertzberg. How pay isn't a motivating factor but a hygiene factor. There are so many factors to consider when motivating a worker. How recognition, responsibility, and achievement are highly desired. You will need to You will still need to ensure the hygiene factors are met to keep dissatisfaction away, such as working relationships and conditions. Thank you for listening.